At first glance, this Roman latrine in Ostia, Rome's bustling port, might not seem particularly impressive. Just 20 seats, lacking the luxurious marble floors and statues that adorned the grander bathhouses. For centuries, it was nothing more than a simple, functional toilet. But the most shocking part isn't its appearance, it's what it reveals about daily life in Rome. Because here, in these public latrines, citizens didn't just relieve themselves without privacy. They also chatted, closed business deals, and even carved inscriptions into the walls. What was it really like to use these communal toilets? And, more disturbingly, what dangers lurked for those who dared to sit on them? Before diving into the experience, treasure trove for modern researchers who have been able to analyze the Roman diet, though at the cost of some rather unpleasant work. However, for many Romans, especially those living in insulae, the apartment blocks of the time, having a private toilet was simply impossible. The most practical and widespread solution was the chamber pot, a ceramic container, though wealthier citizens could afford models made of bronze or even silver. But here's the truly shocking part. When it came time to empty it, the most common practice was simply to throw the contents out the window. In theory, pedestrians were supposed to be warned with a shout of asterisk, caveat stercus, asterisk, watch out for waste. In reality, many unlucky passers-by ended up with an unpleasant surprise landing on their heads. In some cases, the entire chamber pot would be tossed out along with its contents, not only disgusting but potentially lethal for unfortunate pedestrians. So, while private toilets were a sign of status, they were far from being an oasis of hygiene and comfort. No wonder many Romans preferred public latrines. At a time when human waste was tossed from windows without warning, public latrines must have seemed like true oases of hygiene and civilization. Their size and design varied considerably. Some were modest structures, like the small individual latrines built along Rome's Aurelian walls or the dual restrooms commonly found on the ground floors of many insulae, apartment buildings. However, others were vast, capable of accommodating dozens of people at once. Among the most impressive was the latrine in Julius Caesar's Forum, with 50 seats and a heated floor system, or the monumental latrine of the Roman Agora in Athens, which offered up to 68 places. In some exceptional cases, these public restrooms could host up to 80 users simultaneously, transforming them into spaces of social interaction as much as places of physiological necessity. While many of these facilities were not particularly remarkable in terms of architectural design, some were surprisingly luxurious. There were latrines adorned with marble panels, intricate floor mosaics, and even statues. A fascinating example is the latrine of Timgad, which was not only elegantly decorated, but also featured armrests sculpted in the shape of leaping dolphins. But the true privilege was reserved for emperors. At Hadrian's villa, some private latrines were designed with marble seats, fresco-covered walls, and windows overlooking serene ornamental ponds. Religion also had its place in these restrooms. Many latrines featured images of the goddess Fortuna, placed there in the hope that she would protect those using the facilities. However, not everything was about reverence. In Ostia, for example, a bathhouse latrine was decorated with frescoes of the seven sages of Greece, but with a humorous twist. Each figure was accompanied by unconventional advice, such as the recommendation to pass gas silently. Roman humor was also evident in bathroom graffiti. One particularly amusing inscription from Herculaneum reads, Apollinaris, physician to Emperor Titus, relieved himself here quite well. An unnecessary message, yet one that has stood the test of time. From a functional perspective, public latrines were strategically located in high-traffic areas, often near fountains or bathhouses. The reason was simple. Wastewater from these facilities could be channeled beneath the seats, helping to flush waste into the sewer system. However, this proximity to the Roman sewer network was not without its occasional unpleasant surprises. In one documented incident, a massive octopus unexpectedly emerged from a toilet, leaving the unfortunate witnesses both stunned and terrified. Roman bathrooms, with their blend of functionality, luxury, and occasional frights, were a reflection of the society that built them. Ingenious, pragmatic, and with a peculiar sense of humor. Imagine stepping into a public latrine in the heart of ancient Rome. The first thing you encounter is a swinging door or a simple curtain that offers little in the way of privacy. If the facility was pay to use, an attendant stood at the entrance, ensuring no one relieved themselves. Working in the sewage pipes, striking unsuspecting users at the worst possible moment. Even more terrifying, the buildup of gases like methane and hydrogen sulfide in the sewers occasionally led to spontaneous explosions, sending flames shooting up through the seats and leaving more than one unfortunate Roman with burns in rather delicate areas. It's no surprise that many of these latrines were adorned with images of the goddess Fortuna, whom Romans invoked for protection, not just from disease but, apparently, from unexpected bathroom infernos as well. So, the next time you use a modern restroom, complete with soft toilet paper and a well-maintained sanitation system, take a moment to be grateful that you don't live in ancient Rome. Despite what we might imagine about ancient hygiene, The Romans made significant efforts to keep their latrines in relatively good condition. These weren't just simple holes in the ground. They were carefully designed structures engineered to facilitate waste disposal and cleanliness. Most latrines had wash basins where users could rinse their hands and clean the infamous sponges used in place of toilet paper. These wash basins not only served a hygienic function, but also helped keep the water flowing through the system. The floors of Roman latrines were built from durable, easy-to-clean materials like stone or marble, and many featured drainage channels directly beneath the seats. This design allowed liquids and waste to flow efficiently into the sewer system. To improve ventilation, though only to a limited extent, small windows were placed high on the walls. However, their size and position did little to prevent the space from becoming stifling and filled with unpleasant odors. Some latrines even used scented candles to mask the stench, though this likely provided only temporary relief. Beyond the smell and discomfort, there were risks that would make anyone think twice before using a public latrine. One of the most unsettling dangers was the presence of unwanted creatures. Historical records tell of an unfortunate individual who was bitten in a rather sensitive area by a snake that had slithered into the sewer pipes. But if that wasn't enough to send shivers down your spine, there was an even more terrifying hazard: spontaneous explosions. The Roman sewer system, while advanced for its time, had a serious flaw: the buildup of gases like methane and hydrogen sulfide. If these gases became trapped in certain areas and came into contact with a spark or open flame, the result was a sudden eruption of fire shooting up through the latrine seats. Imagine the scene: a crowded bathroom, an unexpected explosion, and sheer panic among the users. It's no wonder that many latrines were adorned with frescoes of the goddess Fortuna, the protector of fate and luck. After all, if there was ever a place where divine protection was needed, it was in a Roman public restroom.